In terms of why we chose Studioplex in this particular office, we've always really liked, I guess, the natural feel of an old loft, a lot of exposed brick, concrete floors, and a lot of the raw elements was very much in line with what our aesthetic was. So from a looks perspective, it appealed to us right away, the open raw space. And as we look around the office, you'll see that we have areas that are very much geared towards collaboration, very tight collaboration where designers and developers are working back to back. And we have private areas, very open areas, and we kind of view it as an accordion where sometimes you want your team very compressed and tightly working together, and other times you need space and the luxury of leg room to get some quiet time and get things done. So there is a lot of artwork throughout the office, and most of it comes from our branding. But I think what's kind of fun when you look at the video and the collaborative effort that it took to put something like this on the wall from non-professionals, it was pretty cool to see come together. Right, so we have about 4,000 square feet here, and there are two major conference rooms. We call them right brain and left brain. And the original thinking was that right brain was our open creativity ideation area, and left brain was our little formal, more of a conference room feel. So that was the original concept. And we had always had a right brain conference room. So when we added in left brain conference room, we thought that was going to be the stuffy area that nobody ever wanted to be in, and we couldn't be more wrong. People really embraced the conference room feel, and if I was to rename it, I'd probably rename it something like War Room, because that's where everybody gets together. And when we have to really buckle down and really accomplish something, our developers will come together, kind of a hack day, well, they'll lock themselves in that room and it'll all form a circle. So you'll get 8 people in there banging out code all day long. And it's nice to be able to cut off all distractions, work side by side, and really accomplish a lot. And we've done some really amazing things. The idea is to try to create something that's a bit more comfortable, because you spend so many of your waking hours in your office. I think it needs to be something that you connect with, something that you enjoy going to. That's why naturally you see a lot of toys or personal elements throughout the office, is because the idea is this: you need to get work done, but at the same time, you should feel very comfortable in where you work. I think culture needs to be somewhat natural. You can't force it, and it definitely comes from above. When you start a company, like a startup, and it is amazing at how much your company becomes a reflection of you. And I mean, like, all your strengths and weaknesses are on display. So if you're a disorganized person, or you're a friendly person, you're a highly creative person, or you're an angry person, your company is going to absorb that. And it really kind of freaked me out at first. I'm like, I'm not intentionally creating these. I'm not saying I'm an angry person. I'm not intentionally trying to create this culture here. It just naturally happens. So I would say when you start a company, be prepared that your company is you. And I call it kind of the Voltron effect, where it's a giant robot, but really it's just a large version of whoever's driving it. And so your company becomes Voltron. So if you have weaknesses, you either need to turn them into strengths or find ways to combat them. And if you have strengths, find a way to make sure that that comes through in your company, and work towards that, and be cognizant of what you're doing to your company based on your attitude, based on how you talk, based on the leadership you give, not in terms of creating orders, but the personality you have and how you work with your team.